My name is Stephen USSR Robinson, and thank you for watching Sporting Icons.
Ari, he's back. He's back again. 3-0 heavyweight extravaganza. Stephen USSR Hightower Disney lover Robinson. Hey Ari.
I'm good, yeah, you?
I'm fine, thanks very much. How's life treating you? Now you can't go to the gym. What have you been up to?
It's, so fortunately for me, obviously, Israel Mark owns Vision, so he's been able to give us some equipment. And obviously, I'm fortunate enough to have an education in sport as well as being a personal trainer, so
right.
I'm able to, wing it in the back garden, do as much work as I can that way. On a morning, train different muscle groups, do my strength work, and then I've been doing my runs every night and watching the diet. It's Easter today and I didn't even get any eggs.
Oh.
Told my mum I didn't want any, so the only eggs I had was an omelette this morning after my leg session. So it's I've got to make what's good of a bad situation and just stay focused and stay ready really. Because when this is all over, there's going to be, and we're going to be inundated with shows, and if I'm ready, and I've stayed fit, obviously I haven't got a weight to keep, but we all know we're all comfortable at a weight, we're all happy at a weight, and as long as I maintain my fitness, a baseline of fitness, I think 2-3 weeks once this is all over, a few sparring sessions, a few pad sessions, and I'll be good to go. So hopefully I'll be able to get on some big shows, because there'll be people out there who aren't staying active and who are sort of letting this situation get to their heads and letting themselves slip a little bit, whereas I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen.
That's a perfect attitude, man. Perfect attitude. So what's the so what you've been doing then? So you've got like a garden full of weights and you've got the heavy bag and all that kind of stuff there then?
The boxing's been, unfortunately, I'm not able to do any boxing. I haven't got a bag, but we've got plenty weights. I've been doing plenty shadow boxing with weights, shadow boxing, working on combinations within, that I would be working on with the pads. Obviously, it's different, but as I say, keeping a baseline of fitness is what I'm aiming to do. Then when everything's over, get straight back in, 2-3 weeks of pad works, 2 weeks of sparring. And personally, I think I'll be ready. I haven't dropped any times on me 3 or 5 milers. I'm doing good circuits. I'm getting good times with that. I'm eating well. So the baseline of fitness and there's everything. The weight, the baseline of fitness, everything's going to remain ready. I'll just have to pick it up a little bit more, sparring, get that ring work, get that rust off, and then. Other than that, I think I'll be more than ready to go.
So is Mark? Is he calling you up every a couple of days to FaceTime him and say, right, get on the scales, show me? Is he up?
Yeah, Mark's obviously he's not just my coach and my manager. He's obviously a friend, and he knows what's going on. He knows the situation. He knows money's hard and the situation's hard, and he's keeping me motivated, and he's keeping me focused on talking about positive things about how busy everybody's going to be, and how many shows are going to be, because at the end of the day everybody needs to make money, from the journeyman, from up to the people who are on the up and coming, and then all the promoters are going to need to make money as well. So I think come we don't know a date, but when this is all over, I think everything's just going to be bang, 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 constant work all the way up until Christmas. And if, earlier on in the year we spoke and I said I wanted 8 fights, that's still my aim.
Right.
If I fight June, July, August, September, October, November, so be it. Yeah. That's still my aim. My aim is still to get still to get the 8 fights in. Unfortunately, I've only been able to get one. So, once this is all over, I'll be ready. I'll be fit. I'll be sparring fit. I'm mentally ready, and my focus is on still getting them 8 fights in for the year. 7 to 8 fights.
Well, hopefully, all this virus situation gets itself cleared up, so you guys can literally get back to start planning.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate for everybody within the sport, but it's not just boxing. It's you've got cricketers, you've got horse riders, and those who aren't at the top end of the game who they live off sponsorships, they live off each ride that they do, or each fight that they do, or each game that they play, and we're all in an unfortunate situation at the minute where we're unable to make money, and 90% of us are probably going to be in the same boat where those who were lucky enough to be sponsored, the sponsorships are going to pull out because they're not making money either. So it's, I think that my focus is knowing that when this is all over, that money's going to be there to be made.
Right.
Not that I'm driven by money. I'm driven by becoming successful within the sport. But obviously, money plays a factor in everybody's life. Yes, it doesn't bring you happiness, but it brings you, a baseline of happiness to where you need it to function everyday things. So, it's something that I'm seeing on social media a lot of people are turning to alcohol, and they're saying I've never drank in 3. Not people within the sport, but just people in general in life. A lot of people are down at the minute. A lot of people are turning to takeaways. A lot of people are turning to alcohol because it's a tough time. And trying to remain focused and trying to remain ready it's hard. So I know there's going to be people who have done that, which just unfortunately for them, but fortunately for me, hopefully gives me the chance to get in there and show people that I'm ready and that I've stayed focused and I've stayed fit, and that's
key, though,
that's
isn't
all
it?
I really aim to do.
Well, that's key, though. I mean, I was speaking with Troy Williamson earlier on, and he's got like the same attitude of, well, if I can keep myself fit, and if other people are not, well, that's their problem. I'll get the first shout.
Yeah, definitely. And as I say, it's hard. It's unfortunate for them that, and I wish everybody in this situation all the best, and I hope they are keeping fit for themselves, and I hope they are mentally in a good way. Especially with not only 2 months ago, after the whole Caroline Flack thing, everybody was, saying just be kind, and now's the time to do that. The support the NHS are getting, the support we're showing on the streets every Thursday, that we all need to support each other. So I hope everybody is remaining, healthy and fit and well, and everybody's physically and psychologically well. But as I say, those that aren't, it gives me and the others who are an opportunity to, jump in and grasp that opportunity and take it with both hands and show people what I'm made of.
Yeah, because I was looking at your box rate right before I give you a call there, and already after only 3 fights, you're number 31 in Britain. That's phenomenal, considering the amount of heavyweights we've got. Yeah,
I mean, it's again, Mark's been very, very, very important. So, he's been very tough in saying it's very important that we don't look to jump too many steps ahead too early, because once we've started doing 6 rounds, and once we've fought somebody ranked 22, ranked 23, you can't then go back down to fight somebody ranked 44.
Right.
You can't then go back down to a 4-rounder. Once you've stepped up, it has to be a constant step up from there. So, Phil Williams last time, he was a good opponent, and he was good to get the rounds in, and I've got to just stick by what Mark's saying with the process of, you know, just move up slowly. And I think I psychologically get myself down by thinking, you know, did I start boxing too late? Because I've only been boxing 4.5 years. I got into it through an injury in football. I got into it more so by accident. And I think I get myself down of what I've achieved in 4.5 years, and you know what's still to come. I think to myself, am I too old? You know, I see the fact that Anthony Joshua had done this and that at my age, and Klitschko had done this and that at my age, and then I look at the likes of David Price and Audley Harrison, and the fact that they only turned pro, you know, when they were 31, 32, and they had only achieved X amount at the age I'm at, and you know, I've still got another 2-3 years before I probably hit my prime of fitness. So I need to stop putting myself down and think that it's, you know, it's a race to become there straight away, and just accept the fact that Mark's got a path, and you know, I'm in good hands, and that's what I need to just accept and appreciate instead of putting myself down, which I think is one of my things I need to work on and focus on myself. Because if I have a bad spar, if I have a bad training session, you know, I'll come home and I'll feel down for 2-3 days, and I'll let that carry over into my training, and it's not a bad thing, but I massively critique myself and put myself down, and that's something I need to stop and work on. And I am, and as I say, I'm happy with the path Mark's got us on, and I just need to take it at one step at a time.
Well, one way to look at it is that you're in the very, very small percentage of people who's even got to where you've got to. So many try and fail that just can't even manage to turn pro, let alone get like 3 wins under the belt, and to start building a bit of a momentum and a name.
Yeah. It's good. It's good that I've been fortunate enough. I've been around sport since I was 10-year old. Not boxing, but I've been at a high level of sport from the age of 16 with me football, and I've been to America. I've studied at a university. So when it comes to sport, I've always given me all. So when I started boxing 4.5 years ago to lose weight, it was never something. It was the gym that I went down vision, and I says, listen, I've had an ankle injury. I'm wanting to lose weight. What's the best thing? And Mark, who owned the gym, says, listen, try boxing, try boxercise, and see how you go with it. And I started, and I suppose I picked things up quite quick, and you know, 3 months later, I was doing a body sparring class on a Tuesday with a guy who had just won the under-10s, Curtis. And I was holding my own against him, and then I got into head sparring, and Mark was like, listen, why don't you come to the amateur boxing class? And I was like, I don't know if it's for me. I'm 23-year-old. I'm not too old. And he was like, no, not at all. So that's basically how I got into it. So to do what I've done in 4.5 years it is achievable, and it's good. And you know, anybody who thinks like I thought and thinks, am I too old to start? Am I too fat to start? You know, can I learn this? Can I do this? You just go and do it. You know, no, we're all capable. We're mind and our bodies are capable of anything if we put ourselves in that. You know, if we get ourselves in the mindset to do it, and we're able to believe in ourselves, then you can do it. So I believe in what Mark's saying, and I genuinely believe that in a year's time I will be fighting for a British title. And that's not me being arrogant at all. That's just me believing in myself and seeing what I've done in 4.5 years, and believing that that's going to carry on over for the next 4.5 years.
I mean, I know some of like your sparring and that. Obviously, like a sparring stays behind closed doors, but I know that some of the guys that you've been sparring, some pretty good names. You've been handling yourself very, very well.
Yeah, touch. Again, sparring's different to a fight. And if you see somebody's hurt, you back off, and and you are trying new things, you are learning new things, and it's the best place to make mistakes. It's the best place to learn. But I mean, I've sparred some big names, and I'm more than happy sparring with them. I'm more than comfortable sparring with them. Touch wood, and again, this isn't me being arrogant. I've never been put down ever within a fight or within sparring. Thousands and thousands of rounds of sparring, and I'm still yet to be put down, and I'm still yet to be hurt, and I've never come out of. I've had bad spars, but within them bad spars, I've still held my own, and I've still give it me all. So maybe again, that's just me being sort of very picky on myself of why the spar was bad and what I could have done better. But I've sparred Bacoli, I think, and he's ranked 23 in the world, I think. And Billy Nelson, he invited we're back up, and he travelled 2.5 hours to our gym a few weeks later to spar with me, and he says, Martin sparred some of the best people in the world, and there's nobody who's just held the centre of the ring and just gone toe to toe with him and held the road against him. Everybody backs off, and everybody, or tries to hurt him, and he comes back. But it's when you hear things like that from a massive name like Billy Nelson, it really does give you a sense of achievement of what you can become within the sport. And to be invited back to spar, and for him to travel 2.5, 3 hours to get 6 rounds in with us, he's obviously happy with what he had. So I'm just hoping that carries on over to some even bigger names. Once this is all over, Billy's going to contact Anthony, hopefully Joshua, about the Pulev fight. And if I can get sparring with Anthony, or obviously you're close with Dillian, so once Dillian's for Povetkin, because obviously I'm not the style that he'll be looking for, but who knows where Dillian goes next. He's up there to be able to fight Anthony again. So if he's fighting Anthony next, or if he's going to be fighting somebody of a stature similar to mine, then people like that, hopefully I can get sparring with people like that, and I'm more than happy to travel. I'm more than happy to spar with whoever, because for me it's not about somebody being better than you. It's about learning. It's about being able to hold your own against them who are better, and after 2-3 spars, start to see something, start to see improvement, and then that's where you learn from yourself. There's you know better. You only become better by sparring people who are better than you, and that's the top and bottom of it.
I'm glad you mentioned about potentially sparring Joshua in preparation for the Pulev fight, because I've said time and time again that your jab is heavy, as in it's an excellent jab, and what's Pulev known for? It's the jab.
He's ramrod jab, yeah.
So I mean, you're perfect preparation to help someone like AJ preparing for somebody like a Pulev.
I mean,
I know you're a bit taller than Pulev, but
yeah, but as you say, you've got to get what you can within the sport, and to find somebody who's Pulev's weight, Pulev's height, Pulev's style, it's going to be hard. So you've got to look for people who, when people are sparring in these camps and they're going to be fighting 12 rounders, you normally find that they get 3 or 4 different sparring partners in anyway, who, one may be his height, one may be his style, one may be his weight, and that's so I'm hoping that I can be part of that training camp, and like you said, it's I've got that sort of the jab that's stiff every jab. It's I'll pour a few and then there'll be 2 or 3 stiff one comes in and the moving around and stuff. It is quite similar to Pulev. So hopefully I get Mark can organise that with Billy, and it's something that can be sorted out, because as I say, it's something I've been more than happy to do.
Exactly.
I'm more.
And helping a fellow Brit.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, it's like people keep saying to me, they keep saying, you need to start becoming more arrogant on social media. You need to start calling people out. I've always said that's not me. It's never going to be me.
Right.
That's just not the person I am. And there's people who are good at it, and there's people who you can see it's forced. And for me, I think people would know that it was forced and know that it wasn't my style,
Yeah, but I get the impression that if somebody started golding you, you'd have a go back.
Oh, listen, definitely. If somebody was in my face, they'd get it straight back. And I'm too educated and witty for most of the people out there, so that they would just be sitting back down on the chair. That's that's by the by. But for me to start it and start calling people out and start naming, it's just not me. It's not for me, and it's not my style for one.
Well,
I wouldn't be very good at it.
Well, you know how I am. That when you get to like a certain level, I'll start doing it for you without even speaking to you.
That's fine. Just I'd be more than happy with you posting things on your YouTube channel, telling them that I said this and that. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I do think that we're going to be seeing you in there with some real good fights in the future, and soon as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've give up too much to not believe in myself, which I've said before. And if I didn't think that I could get anywhere within the sport, I wouldn't be doing it, because I've got a degree. I could be teaching, for instance, in a school in a good 26 to 28,000 pound a year, seeing the sense of achievement of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could be personal training, or I could be coaching boxing, or so if I didn't think or believe in myself, then I wouldn't be suffering the way I am now with money and not being able just to go out with the lads and go on holiday with the lads and go for food with the lads. And I've the last 3 years especially, I've give up so much and I've sacrificed so much, and I've got to have a sense of belief. And Mark and Giuseppe have given us that sense of belief. And when I spar with these people and see where they have been and where they've become and what they've gotten to, and I feel I'm holding my own against them, then it gives me a little bit of thinking, well, yeah, I can get there. Why can't I? And I was still an amateur when I was sparring Cash Ali.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, I think, 15-0 at the time, 13-0 at the time, just about to fight David Price.
Mm-hmm.
And they got me down. Mark got a phone call saying, the Fraser Clark had put my name forward. And Mark got a phone call saying, listen, we're interested. Can you come down for a trial? And, I went down there thinking, I'm fighting. I'm going to be sparring with a pro who's had 13-0, Mark, who's just about to, being on fight David Price for probably what's going to become, after 2-3 fights after that, you're going to be entitled for a British title shot. And I was a little bit like, and I went down. thinking, expecting, right, I'm not going to be able to do much yet, but I'll give it me all. I done 6 rounds with a fella, and I was invited for the full camp, and paid to go down, and I think that's what made us believe in myself a lot more than I had, and that's what really pushed us forward into being able to just think, well, yeah, I can hold my own against these, and yeah, I can get somewhere within the pro ranks. And obviously after the ABA semi-final decision, which I still, still to this day gets us angry. I thought to myself, this is the time now to turn pro, and I'm glad I done it, because I feel for those who are waiting for the Olympics and finding out what's going on. And I mean, none of them know what's going on, and it could be another 2, 3, 4 years before these kids are able to compete for the country in the Olympics again. We still don't know, obviously, anything of what's going on. I don't think anybody does. So I'm glad I turned professional when I did, and I'm glad with the team that I've got around us. And I definitely do believe in fighting some big names in the next year and a half, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure Mark wouldn't mind me saying this. Like a couple of times after I've been to your gym and that, we've done like the interview, and you've gone for like your runs or your lunch or sort of something, and I've been stood there chatting with like Mark, and on a couple of occasions he said, "Trust me, Steve, he's going somewhere, and I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't believe that he would." And that's off camera.
Yeah, well, Mark's got so much going on, and he's got two beautiful kids. He's got his girlfriend, he's got his home life, and then on top of that, he owns 2 gyms, looking to build another gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got his own training on top of that. He's got his PTs on top of that, and he's got so much going on that if he didn't believe in me going somewhere, I know he wouldn't. He would just say, "Listen, Stephen, join somewhere, become a journeyman, do it, or go and get a full time." Because Mark sees the sacrifices I made. Mark's seen what I've left behind to commit to boxing, and he sees the struggles that I have mentally and physically. Sometimes I come in and I'm exhausted, or I'm mentally down because money, or things just aren't right. I haven't got a fight lined up, and he's always there to give us that little bit of a push. And Giuseppe, and I know he does believe in us, because he, as well as me giving a lot of time up and sacrifices, he's also given a lot of time and sacrifices up from his home life. I mean, you've come down, you leave his 2 kids behind, and Kim, his girlfriend, to come down sparring with me for 2-3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for a hotel, pay for the fuel, pay for food, and I'm blessed to have somebody like Mark on my side, because he's been there, he's been through the struggle, and he was fortunate enough to have people around him support him. So for me to have his support, and it is a blessing. It really is, and I couldn't ask for a better person to be my manager, to be my coach, and as I say, to be my friend. He's a great guy to have around.
Yes, and he's got one hell of a backstory as well.
Yeah, which is it gives me a sense of I know a sense of security that I know I've got somebody behind us who's been there, done that. Unfortunately, because of his injury, he wasn't able to box again. But Mark was top to be a big name within the sport, and as well as what he achieved in kickboxing, he then transitioned over to boxing, because he had achieved everything in kickboxing, and then to do what he done within 8 fights in boxing, and you know, to be where he's been, and it's amazing to have him as a backing, because, as I say, he's been there, he's done that, he's boxed for GB, he's boxed for England, he's been over, as you know, to America, he's been with Roach, he knows exactly how to. He's amazing at man management as well. How he manages me and how he talks to me and how he trains me is very different to other people, because he knows we've just got this bond and click where we're just, you know, we'll have laughs, we'll have a joke, and at the same time everything that we'll learn is serious. You know, we'll go into the gym and for half an hour we'll be kicking a football around the boxing gym, having a laugh, messing about, listening to, you know, One Direction or The Greatest Showman, or, you know, and then, you know, 20 minutes later he's screaming and shouting at us because I'm not slipping to the right, I'm slipping to the left, or I'm not working on my back foot correctly, and he just knows how to manage us. He knows I like that bit of fun joke type of style, which he does as well. Yeah. And then he knows when to get us in a serious sort of. He can just switch himself from that sort, and he gets me to switch as well from that jokey, smiley, which is the reason why when you see me on fight night, I'll be walking around, I'll be having a laugh, I'll be, you know, I'll come out of Disney, because I know when I'm in that changing rooms and when I'm training with Mark, when he's warming me up, that's when I'm ready. That's when Mark, you know, switches that switch, and that's when I become. It's now time to focus. It's now time. You know, it's kill or be killed, really. Obviously, without the killing part, it's you know you're going into the ring and somebody's going to try and take your head off, and you've got to have the attitude that you need to take their head off first. And you know, as much as I'm just a laid back, happy go Larry sort of smiley guy, once I'm in that ring for 12 minutes, I'm going to be trying to take your head off, and that's the top and bottom of it. And I won't, you know, unless you hit me with a bat, I'm not going down. I'm not stopping unless I'm asleep on the canvas. There's nothing going to stop us from constantly pressuring you.
Yeah. I mean, your last fight, you answered the question that I know that whenever I speak to like I don't know, say like a Dean White, for example, and I speak about you, they always say, "How's your chin?" Well, you proved it, didn't you?
Yeah. So again, that was it was a bit of an arrogant, bad move by me, but it wasn't just you. There was many people questioning how. Yeah, but you've had these two fights and you've knocked them out within 3 minutes. You know, you've only been boxing for 3 minutes. What's your fitness like? What's your chin like? You know, we haven't seen any of your the 3 amateur fights that are on YouTube. You can't, again, my chin hasn't been tested. A lot of people were questioning my fitness. Are you too muscle bound to go the 4 rounds? Is your chin any good? And I'd sort of said to a lot of people, listen, just you know, I'll show you that I'm more than capable to take a shot. And I can sit there and say I've never been put down in sparring, I've never been hurt in sparring, and I've never this. And you know, that would be lying. Of course I've been hurt in sparring. I'm human, and you know, but I know it's going to take a big shot to put us down. And if I do go down, I'm getting straight back up. And you know, until I'm asleep, I'll be on you. Yeah. And I had sort of said to people, listen, I'll show you that I can take a shot, and I'll show you that I'm more than fit enough. And for the 4 rounds that I've done with Phil, I pressured him for the full 4 rounds. I had him on his back foot, and I was constantly in. I think to myself, if I didn't let the arrogance take over and I didn't let the crowd take, not arrogance as such, but more like the situation, the crowd, the adrenaline take over, I probably would have stopped him but I wasn't looking to pick shots. Every shot I was hiring was a big shot.
Yeah.
I put everything into every shot. I was falling over my front foot. So there was a lot of things that, when I've watched that fight back, there was a lot of things to go back on and say, well, actually, you know, if I had have just worked his body inside and then come up with that uppercut left hook that we've been working on. But when you've got a man who's laughing in your face and saying, come on, hit us harder, which that's what he does. That's his job. You know, he gets in your head, and I'm hitting him with massive body shots. I mean, people were coming up to me after the fight saying, I heard that up in the bleachers, how he didn't go down. And he stood in my face laughing when I'm hitting him with the best shots. It's infuriating, it's frustrating, and I allowed him to get into my head. And I dropped my hands and I got arrogant, and you know, he hit us with 6 massive shots, and you know, everybody in the crowd thought I was gone. After the fight, everybody, even the referee, even Phil, come up to us in the change room and said, I thought you were gone. He says, and then he hit us with the left hook and you stumbled us.
Yeah.
Because when he hits us with them 6 shots, I just check left hook and spin around, and I hit him with a 1-2, and he sort of wobbles back, and
yeah,
I was fine. I you know, he caught us with the shots. My head rocked back, and I took another 4 or 5, but I hit him straight back. I was fine. Didn't rock us. He didn't hurt us. He didn't stun us. And I think, as you say, I answered a few questions with my fitness and with my chin. So, but it's not a good thing to answer, because at the end of the day, I'm only human, and as much as I can sit here and say I've never been put down, I've never done this, I've never done that, it's inevitably going to happen. And you know, the more prestigious fighters I get, the harder they hit, the better, the more accurate they are, the more timed they are, and you know, it only takes 3 pounds of pressure on the pressure point to rattle the brain. And you know, as I say, I've just got to stay focused and make sure that doesn't happen again, and not allow me emotions to take over what I'm actually there to do, you know.
Well, I think the reality of that last fight was Phil Williams. He turned up and he'd done his job.
Definitely.
You know, which was to teach you.
Yeah. It was to get the 4 rounds. It was so he could fight the week after. He had a fight a week after, and you know, he done, and like, this is his job. He's earning you know, thousands of pounds a week to make sure that, and if he gets the win, great. You know, I'm 2-0. I'm a prospect. I'm this. I'm that. I've been top to be this, tip to be that. And if he stops me, you know, that's great for him, amazing for him, because then that gives him a sort of sense of achievement that puts him on a good sort of high for his next fight. And you know, so he doesn't come, you know, just to stand up and cuddle up and grab you, which he does. But at the same time, he's getting into your head, and he's there to attack. And he showed that, you know, he was hiring some bombs, and you know, he would cover up for 2.5 minutes, and then he'd have this little 30-second sort of burst of energy in each round. And you know, if the guy's 20 stone, if he catches you with one of the shots in the right spot and you allow him to, then he's gonna hurt. He's gonna potentially stop you, and he's got 3 stoppages, and he's only been stopped 3 times. So he was good. He was a good name, and I was wanting to stop him and sort of get my name out there, but. Listen, it's no big deal. It's again, I was after the fight. I was annoyed at myself, and I was annoyed at him, and I was annoyed I let the situation get the better of us, and the adrenaline take over and the crowd take over. But again, it's 3 fights in. I've just got to accept the fact that I'm still learning. You know, and I'll always critique myself, no matter what. You know, even the fight that I won against the Russian guy at the Hilton, I knocked him out in a minute 10. but I still was annoyed that I got caught with a right hand as I was on the ropes, and I still watched the fight 100 times over. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? And same as when I fought Sean Duffy in my first fight, I stopped him in a minute 40.
Yeah.
But there were still things that I watched back, and I'm still watching them back now, and I'm still, right, I'm falling over my front foot there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And when we go into the gym, straight after the fight, 2-3 days later, I'm back in the gym, and it's we'll watch the fight, me and Mark and Giuseppe will sit down, we'll watch the fight, right, this is this, this is that, and then that's what we'll work on, and we'll work on what didn't work, why it didn't work, what worked well, and we'll make sure that that's perfected even better for the next fight. So
That's perfect.
I'm just an apprenticeship of the sport, really. Still, I mean, after 4.5 years, there's still so much to learn, and as I say, I'm giving 110% now, and I'm willing to give that 110% until I get to where me and Mark believe I can get to.
Yeah, that's right. And how's Bazzy? Have you spoke to Bazzy? Bazzy was there?
Yeah, Bazzy's good. He's just had a little girl, so
Okay.
obviously shelled by his wife and Sarah, his little girl. He's already got him on. He's having to fully isolate himself, unfortunately, due to he's not even sort of being able to go out and do the things that he's wanted to do because of obviously what's around him. So
Right.
he's also in the same boat as me. He's got equipment, and
Yeah.
he's only. I was speaking to him the other day, and both me, him, and Mark FaceTime. He's 71 kilos, so he's on weight. He's 2 kilo off weight, which is easy to get off. He's fit. He's got a treadmill, and he's doing sub 6 minute miles on the treadmill. So he's fit. He's sort of the same as me. He's staying focused, and he's also fortunate enough to have Morgan Giuseppe around him who keeps her mind on the right path and keeps her, because again he's ready for this opportunity that's coming, that there's going to be boxers not doing what we're doing, that it's time for us to pounce on them. So yeah, he's doing well, and as I say, we speak every day, and I help him with his nutrition, and I help him with his training, and not that the kid's not educated, because he is, but he's just obviously educated in a different way, and he does need that little bit of help, and we're all there, and he's doing it, and he's as I say, he's the same as me. He's just staying grounded and staying focused and remaining hungry, really, within the situation that we've got.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's got Ramadan coming up soon as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's last year and the year before he was fighting. Ramadan was during the fight camp, so he done the Ramadan after. But obviously with everything that's going on, I think he'll complete this Ramadan. But it's but Ramadan's not always. A lot of people think Ramadan's great for weight loss and stuff, but when you go 16 hours without eating, the 8 hours you do get to eat at 9 o'clock at night, which isn't an ideal time for your body to be intaking that amount of food, but that's when they get the cut. So it's not the most ideal thing for weight loss, which a lot of people think.
Yeah.
So whether Bazzy does it, or he comes to some sort of agreement within the mosque and his dad, I don't really know. It's his religion and what he gets up to. As I say, the last 2 years he's been fighting during Ramadan, so I know he hasn't completed it properly. But this year I'm not 100% sure what he'll be doing.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see him get into a position to fight like Ellis Corey for the Northern Area welterweight.
Yeah, that was something that was meant to go ahead a while back. That title was meant to go. I think it was it was last year. Maybe it's even the year before in Darlington. it was on one of Wraithy's shows, and the fight got pulled on the night time. So it's something that has been in the, it's was going to happen, and then obviously it didn't happen, and then they just sort of went different paths, and I think there was a few fallouts because of it, but now, it's like you say, it's a perfect fight to have. It would be great to hire on at the arena. Two local lads, both good ticket sellers, fighting for a title. It would be good to see, but I don't know what the situation is with a rematch. I don't know if it was in the contract for Chad and Ellis to have a rematch. I'm not sure what the situation is with what was written down. So
right.
But it definitely would be it would be a great fight to see. So, definitely. And as I say, Bazzy's going to remain focused and remain ready. And I think his last fight up in Scotland, he sort of seen what he was capable of, and one or two more rounds, and I think you would have beat that guy. But there's no point in dwelling on that and looking at that and saying if only. You can only work with what we've got today and what you didn't do. So he knows what he needs to do, and he come back in the gym and focused and ready, and I think he would be ready for that fight, and he would definitely accept that fight. So again, that's down to Mark, his manager, and Giuseppe's coach on whether or not they take that path or they want to take a different path. It's down to them.
Definitely. And best luck to him. Hopefully he does. Actually, I'll send him a message and I'll get him on the podcast. Actually.
Definitely. I think he'd be more than up for that.
Yeah. So, what Disney movies are you watching today then?
You know what? Funnily enough, I signed up to Disney Plus just before quarantine, and it's the best thing it's the best 50 quid I've ever spent.
Yeah, we did that as well.
It's been keeping me sort of sane and focused. I've just watched Up. Right. Just before you called, I've just watched Up, so I was a little bit teary before we phone called.
Oh, bless you.
Bit of a tearjerker Up. But I think the next one I'll watch will be more of an uplifting, happy one. So maybe it's a new Aladdin or something. We'll see.
Why not? A bit of Mulan, cheer you up.
Yeah, we'll see what Disney Plus has to offer in a few hours, and we'll get settled down. But as I say, it definitely won't be with any Easter eggs because my mum didn't buy us any, unfortunately.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Stephen, I appreciate your time today.
Fantastic. And thank you very much for having us.
Oh, of course, you're welcome anytime, you know that. And keep yourself well, and your mum and that as well.
Yeah, you too. And hope the family are all keeping well and staying safe. And everybody who's listening, just listen to what Boris is telling you and what the NHS are telling you, and stay safe and stay focused, stay mentally and physically happy, and do as much as you can together, and use this time just to bond with each other, and use it as a bit of time to focus on yourself, and train and do as much as you can. You've got to accept that we're in a bad time and it's a bad situation, but just accept it and do as much as you can. Stay sort of physically and mentally happy as well.
Exactly, well said. I echo that. I totally agree with it. And basically, if you're going out, go out when you absolutely have to. Come back, wash your hands, brush your teeth, wash your ass, make sure you're clean.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's the most important thing of that is to wash your arse.
All right, buddy. Thanks again.
Right, thank you very much to Sporting Icons as well. Again, like I say, for the continued support.
Blessings.